Right guys, welcome back to another video. Today's video I'm here to give you my thoughts on Luton losing again away from home, 4-2 defeat against Norwich, and yeah, the poor away form continues. We are the first team in the championship to lose 10 matches, which is a complete joke. The start to the season has just been horrific. And whatever your thoughts are on the transfers which we did in the summer, not enough business, not being ambitious, regardless, this group of players should be doing a lot better. It should not be, we should not be where we are positioned in the league. Now, that's on the basis of the squad being good. We're not performing like a good squad. We're underperforming. We're not earning the right to win games of football, and some of these players I'm looking at thinking, how many more opportunities are you going to get in the starting 11? Edwards came out after the game and says how angry he was and how angry he was with the players, and he vocalised that some of these players are on their last chance. Well, I'm not being funny, Edwards. Like, they should already be on their last chance. Why are they getting more opportunities? Be ruthless now. This is ridiculous. Your job is on the line here. You think you're going to get more games. You're not. If this continues, you're not. You really ain't. These next two home games are so important for his future. But I just think it covers cracks if we do get results. I just don't see this getting better. I really don't. And today, even more so, if the players are arguing with each other on the pitch and showing poor body language and putting their arms in the air when Edwards is giving out instructions, that tells me massively that he's lost the dressing room. He's lost some of these group of players, and it could get really toxic. This could get so toxic to the point where the players get him sacked. And I don't want to say that, but it's definitely looking that way. When I look at all the goals we conceded today, all individual player mistakes, it was frustrating, because it's just like, we're just not doing the basics right. We can't defend. We at times look too predictable going forward, despite scoring 2 goals today. We're playing players out of position. I'm seeing players just not willing to do the grafting, the fighting, which we're used to seeing. It's becoming a joke. But let's talk about the game. The starting 11, when it came out, it looked to me like a straight 4-4-2, but it was not a 4-4-2. It does get changed to a 4-4-2 formation gradually in the game, not until after Norwich scored their second goal. So Chong did start the match as a left wing back. We had Hashi right wing back. We had the defence of Tedamenji, McGuinness, and also Amari Bell as our 3 centre halves. The midfield 3 was Clark, Baptiste and Brown. Brown being a centre mid. Mental. And then the 2 strikers, of course, Morris and Elijah Adebayo. That's how we were out of possession. It definitely, for me, it was very clear. But then in possession, I think instructions were given to Chong and Brown to push forward. So every time we had possession in the first half, you did see Chong play nice and high and wide. And then Brown also being a lot more advanced out of the midfield 3 to kind of be a lot closer to Elijah and also Morris. I understood that in the first half, but of course we ended up switching because we just don't know how to defend. But yeah, the first goal we scored, we took full advantage of a poor back pass by Norwich. Elijah in the right place at the right time, nice, cool, calm finish around the keeper, gets us 1-0 up, fantastic. Everyone's going mental. We're all singing how bad you must be. We're winning away to Norwich fans. Brilliant. But then a couple of minutes later, we concede because we just don't know how to defend. We had so many opportunities to clear the ball. Originally, it was Amari Bell that lost the ball originally, which Norwich took full advantage of. But then I think we had 3 or 4 attempts. Poor punch out from Thomas as well. I don't know what he's doing in net. And then somehow the ball just goes in the back of the net. It all became really much a blur to me because I just couldn't believe the amount of times we just failed to clear the ball. But what was even worse was the second goal. Now Chong, as the left wing back, whether you're playing out of position or not, you have got to shield the ball better. You know what he's trying to do. He's trying to wait for the ball to roll out, shielding, but he's so weak, it's ridiculous. Norwich take full advantage, managed to, I couldn't see from where I was, but nip the ball past him, put a great ball into the box, and they are 2-1 up, and they go into the break 2-1 up. It's just simple, innit? Two stupid mistakes, and we've conceded two really poor goals. And then half-time happens. We make a half-time change. Chong, who had a really bad first half, came off. Victor Moses came on. Of course, after that second goal, we did go to a 4-4-2. Brown went out wide. Chong ended up being a lot more advanced with Amari Bell behind him, and we did play with 4 centre-halves. And regarding a 4-4-2 formation, you need to be disciplined. You also need to show a bit of intelligence, and you also need to be very committed, because in a 4-4-2, there's a lot of space, and if teams are playing like a 4-2-3-1 or a 4-3-3, they will interchange with each other, they'll show movement, so everyone needs to know what their job is. They need to know who their man is. And right now, we're not disciplined, we're not intelligent enough defensively out of possession to know what to do. We're just not. Especially against a side that's really good going forward, and you saw that in the second half. But we did actually strike back in the second half. Really good corner from Clark. Dangerous area. In fact, I thought a lot of our deliveries were quite good today, and caused Norwich a lot of problems. I understand why Norwich are where they are in the league. Great going forward. Even when they struggle at times, they keep going. They find ways. They really high energy. Use their wide players extremely well. Lots of movements in the midfield. I can understand why they score lots of goals. But defensively, I can understand why they concede a lot. Because if a side like us are scoring goals against them, yeah, there's problems. And they do struggle with the defensive side of things. And that's something which I feel like they need to improve on if they're gonna, get promoted out of this division. So maybe a defensive midfielder, someone who's more defensive minded is probably needed within that Norwich City setup, or maybe a centre half even. But anyway, I'm not here to talk about Norwich, I'm here to talk about how bad Luton are. So yeah, 2-2, and then basically it ends up being quite an even game. I do think the effort of performance was better than it was against Leeds. We actually showed some determination and showed some effort, but we just showed what we've been poor at all season, and that's defending. The third goal, we had so many chances to just deal with it. We didn't. McGuinness gets outdone. I think it all just looks like a blur to me. I can picture it in my head, but I can't describe it. And then somehow they just score. And then you looked at the players instantly, and their heads just went. And you knew at that point we weren't going to get a goal back because their heads have gone. Their body language was poor, and yeah, you just knew we weren't going to walk away with anything. When you score 2 goals away from home, you sometimes think, well, we at least deserve a point. But nah, not today. Not with how we defended and the individual mistakes. And then the 4th goal was really pathetic. The player just glides past Amari Bell, puts in a ball, cuts it back, and it's an easy tap in. Really frustrating, because the player that scored, Sainz, Hashi actually was frustrating him for a majority of the game. And you can see how angry he was getting, and he's one of the best players in the Championship at the moment, but he still managed to score. That's what good players do. When they're having a poor game, they still score, and we were unable to stop that. The substitutions which Edwards made, I feel sorry for Joe Taylor, because I don't think at once we tried to actually give him the ball. He was trying to do all these running, trying to go in behind, but we're not finding him, we're not giving him the ball. I actually want to see what Taylor is like from the start, but I don't think we're ever going to see that in a Luton shirt. But the fact that he's actually played, 50 minutes this week, he played half hour against Leeds and 20 minutes against Norwich, it's quite a surprise. So there is improvement there, but I feel like he needs to start from minute 1 of the game. I don't know what's fell. My books are fell. But yeah, I feel like he needs to start from minute 1. Kraus, I thought, was just like a headless chicken when he came on. And that goes down to players not knowing what they're doing in certain positions. It's just poor. It's just poor, if I'm being honest with you. I'm seeing Morris and Elijah Alabeyo run back in the defensive half to shout at Thomas for not kicking the ball properly to them. A lot of it just, yeah, it's just not good. Edwards needs to go. I've already been vocalised on that. Players are just not playing for him now, and it's up for the board to react. I'm not expecting anything to happen next week. I'm expecting Edwards to be in charge for the next 2 home games, and we see what happens in our next game. But yeah, look, it's not good. One of the worst sides away from home now in the Championship. 10 defeats. It's shocking. He's had 30 million to spend, and I just want to compare our first season in the Championship when we had Graham Jones in charge. We're only 1 point better off, by the way, and look how bad that it was under Graham Jones, and we're only 1 point better off. Things have got to act quick, because we're on track to only getting 46 points by the end of the season, and 50 points wasn't even enough to stay up last season. It's a concern, it's a worry. I don't care about how other clubs are performing. We're performing badly, despite the amount of money Edwards has had to spend since being Luton Town boss. It's not good enough. Needs to fix up. Stop giving players opportunities. Be ruthless now and sort it out. Those are my thoughts. Drop a like, comment, subscribe. See you tomorrow in my video where I try and dissect this game against Norwich.